Okay, hello everybody. We are going to show you how to build a banner from start to finish, Lord willing. You can order these beautiful banners from Bible Baptist Bookstore in Pensacola, Florida. The phone number is 850-477-8812. 850-477-8812. And they can get you the banner material. Just let them know that you want it made with the black border like Jack and Sandy did for theirs. So if you'll turn that around, Jack, you can show them the back side. And we already put it in the sun and it doesn't bleed through, so it turned out pretty good. So that's about a 4x5 foot banner. All right, we'll be back to show you step 1 through the end. Okay, everybody, first thing you want to do is find yourself a nice big table that you can lay your banner out. We got like 4 banners here. We're going to make them into 1 or into 2. And you want to get the wrinkles out. So we special ordered these at Bible Baptist Bookstore. Put the border around. So you want to lay them upside down to iron because you don't want to put a shine on your colors. So here's what you do. Spray those wrinkles. Make sure your iron ain't too hot. Melt your signs. Test it. That would be a disaster. So just get your wrinkles out. So it all lays down nice. And do 1 sign at a time. And then when you get that done, get your wrinkles out. You're going to take 2 signs, put them face to face. Make sure they're not upside down. Make sure they're facing all in the same direction. And then we're going to staple them together. So you get the idea for the ironing. Get all the wrinkles out. So we'll be back when it's time to put them together and staple them. Bye. Okay, we're all done ironing. We ironed 4 banners. Now we put 2 banners together, face to face. Make sure they're facing the same direction. You don't want to sew them together upside down, because then you're really going to be in a pickle. You have to cut it all apart. So, you line up your edges. You see you got black border. Line up your 2 corners, nice and tight. And you're going to grab your nice stapler. Don't use a cheesy one. Be careful, don't make no wrinkles. Get your stapler under there. And staple on the white part, because all that white's going to get cut off and thrown in the trash. So make sure, get yourself a ruler, drag the wrinkles out. Make sure these line up. Staple. On the bottom we're going to find the center on the bottom. Then we're going to put our 12-inch ruler, 6 inches on each side of the center. That's where you're going to slide your pole, your painter's pole up the middle. So when they sew, they're going to go here, here, all the way around with the stitch. And make sure they double stitch and use extra heavy thread so it doesn't rip. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to staple all around. Put a staple here, 1 in the top, 1 in the middle, and 1 on each side. Not too many staples, because then it's just unnecessary. So we'll be back when we get that job done. Okay, now we got to find the center of the banner on the bottom, because we're going to sew everything up and leave a hole at the bottom so you can put your poles through and turn it inside out right here. So go on the black border. You got from there to there is 62.5 inches. So center is 31 1/4 inch. Take your 12-inch ruler, mark it at 6, center. Put 6 inches on each side and mark it. And that's the opening, 12-inch opening. And then you're going to slide your pole in there like I say. And your painter's pole, this will always be open so you can get your painter pole up through the middle. Okay, I'm going to finish stapling her up. So that's it for now. Okay, we got her stapled on the perimeter. We put 1 staple each corner, 1 in the middle, 1 there, 1 there. We got our center hole. Now we flipped this whole thing over and there was wrinkles on the back, so we took a staple puller, pulled the wrinkles corners out, the staple out, and then smoothed it out and restapled it. So when you're done, flip it over, make sure you don't have a big wrinkle on the back side. It's going to mess you up. Then we're going to take a pinking shears. After this gets sewed around the perimeter, double stitched around the perimeter, you're going to come in 1 inch around the black perimeter and mark that, and then you're going to have whoever sew it right on that line. So you're going to have a 1 inch stitch double stitched around with your opening on the bottom. Then you're going to take a pinking shears, which is a scissors that does a zigzag. And that zigzag stops it from raveling, because you don't want it to ravel and then the whole thing's going to fall apart eventually. So you're going to take the pinking shears, cut off all the white up to the black, throw it away. Or if you want, whoever sews it, you could have them zigzag the end where it's pinked, and that'll really hold nice. So that's a good idea actually. Let's see, then when you get that done, you're going to pink it, and then on the corners, you're going to cut an angle like this. So when you turn it on each corner, you're going to cut an angle like that with your pinking shears. So when you turn it inside out, it's not all bulky and bulgy. It'll lay nice and flat. These poles we bought at Lowe's, $8 a piece. They're shower rod poles. So go over in the plumbing department, they got them leaning up like this. Grab you 2 of those for each banner, top and bottom. This gray thing we bought at Ace Hardware for $2. It's a piece of PVC pipe for electrical. So it's a T-bone. Can't remember what size, so take your shower curtain with you and make sure it fits nice and tight. And then you want to tape it at center. After you decide what this has got to be cut down to, Jack had to cut off 1 inch to make it fit in the banner. So each one's going to be custom cut. And then once you get it cut, put this at center, your little T-bone, make sure it's at center, and then take you some tape. I just took packing tape. Tape it in place. They give you little caps, so keep those caps, because that'll stop it from cutting into your banner. Tape those caps on, and then we're going to slip it up through the hole up top and on the bottom, and she'll lay in place real nice. And then for an extra little deal, I'm going to have the man put grommets on the 4 corners to hold these poles in place. We're going to put one of these grappling hooks on there. So if we're out and it's too windy, we can hook it to a fence, hook it to a pole, whatever. And let's see what else. I think that's about it, huh? And we're going to have whoever glue this opening down so it doesn't fray, doesn't get in the way. I think that's about it for now. Okay, everybody, we are at the place where we're getting our banners sewed, and you have to mark the perimeter about a 1 inch in. As you can see, they've got like a silver colored ruler. It lays across the whole banner, and it just kind of holds it in place so it doesn't cause any wrinkles while they're marking. And this is just a special ruler you can buy from Joann Fabrics, whatever, or if you have a ruler at home. He's just going in 1 inch with it. We'll go on this side and show you what he did. You can see see that? He drew a line, so when the lady goes to sew, she just goes right along that line, real nice and neat, right? So you'll go around the perimeter with that mark. And as you can see, hopefully you can see way up top there, we got it stapled in place all the way around. So that's that. And then we'll give it to the lady to sew and pink the edges. Cut the edges at an angle right there. Flip her inside out and put the poles in, be just about ready. Okay, thank you. Okay, now the lady's starting to stitch for us. It's a single stitch, but as you can see, they use a really heavy-duty thread. Those black spools there, it's industrial thread. So I guess the best you could do is maybe go to the fabric store and ask them for a heavy-duty thread, probably a polyester. Okay, as soon as she gets her little machine running, we'll video for you. Okay, that's the brand of the thread. Okay, there she goes. You could probably just use a regular home sewing machine tool, but this, as you can see, is a nice heavy industrial machine. Or you can hire a canvas company to sew it up for you. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, now we're going to show you how to pink it, which is that zigzag scissors, and when you pink the edge, it should not gray. So we're going to come up to the corner. We're going to show you how to do a corner so when you turn it inside out, it's not all bulky and it lays nice and flat whenever you get done. So you get that. And then you just take a little snibble off the end at an angle. Just like that. Hope y'all can see it. So that's all you do. And go around the perimeter. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, we're going to finish up the banner. Jack got these little tubes here and he screwed them on. Put 2 screws there, one there and one there. And then you notice these gray things, these gray T-bones that got pointy edges on, so Jack had to grind all that off. Otherwise it'll cut through your banner. And these poles, if you can't find these shower rods at Lowe's, they quit selling them. Then improvise by a broomstick handle. You can find a bunch of them at Ace Hardware. And if you use PVC pipe, we've seen that where it bows and then the banner's all messed up. Or if you use a heavy metal pipe, you know, you gotta remember if the wind hits the banner and then the banner hits somebody, you might hurt somebody. So we suggest these, or a broomstick handle. So, I'm going to show you how to turn it inside out. Once it gets sewed, just reach in the hole you got there and grab this corner. And this other corner. This other corner. And then flip it inside out. Be kind of careful. You don't want to rip your stitches. And just poke your finger in the corners there. First with the T-bone. Stick it up in the corner. It'll fit right nice in the hole. make sure your seam is the T-bone straight. Your seam is up top. Just twist it a little bit, no big deal. Stick the other pole in all the way up in the far corner. Stick it in. And bring it back down. Then you need your pole. I always use the thicker pole. Oops. I'm sure these are tight, but not too tight, you'll strip it out. And you just stick this right up inside there. Like so. Check it in, get your T-bone, stick it in there. And there you go. There's your beautiful banner. So, move this one over here. And I found this long plastic bag. This long plastic bag came with a rug in it. So when you're done with your banners, you can roll them up, put them in there, or make yourself a bag out of fabric, cotton canvas fabric. Okay, what else we got here? We got Tell It Like It Is. If you call down at the Bible Baptist bookstore, I think they'll let you use any graphic in there. So just talk to whoever. James is the guy I talked to. And see if he'll let you make a banner. He'll make a banner for you, just like the one you saw right there. And you got the Millions Disappear, a lot of nice graphics in there too you can pick from. And Chick has plenty of graphics in the Light of the World you can pick from. And let's see, what else was I going to say about that whole thing? Oh, these little zip ties. If you'll notice, we got these hanging from the pole. So at the top, we put a zip tie on the pole, on the handle. I'll show you. Quick here. Can you see? Now we got the little zip ties on to the pole. That's all they are, is these and these. So you got heaven or hell. And then the good thing about this, you can jack this window washing pole about, 16 feet, Jack, up in the air. And when we were in Chicago Marathon or the Macy's Parade, it was so packed you couldn't see the sign, so we just jacked it up in the air and let the wind blow it wherever it wanted to go. So that worked out good. So this is a nice way to do signs, and then you can still hand tracts. That's what your banner looks like. Then we've got these new signs we've got made down at Bible Baptist. And I have this big blank on the bottom, as you can see. Bunch of blank space. So I thought you could buy a bunch of bumper stickers and stick them on there. So whenever people come up to it, they got something to read on the bottom. You can fit about 6 of them down there. So you got all these to pick from, more even at the bookstore. And the bookstore made these for us. They put the grommets on real nice. So you got that idea. Then you got your sandwich sign idea right here. So you can hang that on you. Got and adjust the string. So you got heaven or hell. And your hands are free. You can pass out tracts, give out Bibles, talk to people, talk to people with your Bible. Let's see, and then we got heaven or hell again. Also, you can hang these, like, if there's a fence, chain link fence wherever you're preaching, you could just hang this on the chain link fence. I've done that before, put a bunch of signs on the fence. Don't forget them though. One time I forgot them. Jack had to run back and get them. Let's see, this is a good one. This is a hot sign right there. Go to hell. Don't go to hell. See up top? This is what draws them in. They see go to hell and they come on over and wonder what's going on, and then you can explain to them, don't go to hell. We don't want you to go to hell. And each one's got a nice Bible verse on the bottom. We always try to put King James Bible verse on our stuff, not sayings. Use the King James Bible. So that's probably our #1 best banner. Let's see, what else we got here? We got that. Oh, we got these. Do you want to show them these, Jeff? These are just ideas they can... You gotta bring a camera over and just show it to them. You can pan on all those, and then they can copy them and have them printed. Okay, and then we found out, like, we go to Catholic conferences and they won't let people take stuff, or Jehovah's Witness conferences, they won't let their people take things from us. So we came up with this idea. Find out what your church doesn't want you to know, chick.com. So they can just Google chick.com and they can read every chick tract in total. So there's more than one way to skin a cat. So I think they were kind of sorry they didn't let the kids take tracts, because now they can all look them up. And this is another idea. If you're out preaching by the sidewalk and there's a grassy area, you can get these little brackets and make sure your signs are made with the corrugated running up and down like this. So you can get your little tract in there. So then you go out preaching, you stick this in the grass area where you're preaching, and then there you go. Just make sure nobody grabs it and steals it. They like them for trophies. Let's see what else we got there. That's that. Oh, this is how we transport our signs. Got to take care of those signs. They ain't cheap. Those, they're $70. Those are like 40. So you want to take care of your signs. So we bought this at Hobby Lobby for $15. Not a bad price. But these will not fit in there, so I gotta make a homemade bag for these. Not too tough. Just imagine making a pillowcase and putting a zipper on it, or snaps, or whatnot with your handles. Just gotta protect your stuff, main thing. Let's see, so we covered that. Oh, these we bought from Bible Baptist, and we had James put these nice grommets on for us. But you could probably go to Ace or Lowe's and get a grommet kit and put them on yourself, cheaper. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Because that way you can hook two together. You can hook two together like that. Or three together. And have you a nice big old pile of signs for people to read. And let's see, I'm forgetting this thing, Jack, is the 3 things God can't do. I'll just bring it over. Okay. Do you want to explain it to him? 3 things God can't do?
Well, when we were up in Chicago, we took a little table. Okay, we took a little table And somebody had already made this up in Chicago. This is just a drawing. But you have 3 little pockets there, 3 things God can't do, God can't lie, God can't do something else. And then the last one, God can't let you into heaven unless you take Jesus Christ as your Savior. This thing was unbelievably popular. We manned it for a while with gospel tracts and stuff and stood there. And people were a little reluctant to come over, so we just left it. Kept an eye on it and preached on the corner. And we had this 3 things God can't do. You just make it out of wood. You're pretty handy, or find somebody to make it. And people were actually lined up. We had at one time 6 or 7 people standing in a line waiting to get up there and open up the doors and find out the 3 things that God can't do. So if you're handy, if you know somebody that's good at woodworking, just have them do that. It's well worth it. It'll be well worth it. Okay.
And then you can lay some chick tracts down on the table by it, and tell them to take a chick tract. Okay, this is the screw that Jack used. They're special screws that went through steel, I guess. Then these are just little, what do you call it, for canes, little ends for a cane to put on the end of your broomstick, because you don't want it ripping through your banner. So let's explain something here on this banner, Jack, over here. How this is bordered. Okay, when I ordered this banner, James made it for me with 6 inches of black, 1.5 inches of white, and I asked him for darker, richer color, and then he has some graphics from Chick and from, I think, well, they got their reference stuff, so from Chick. And then just let him know what you want. And then when I sewed, like we said, 1 inch, we told you all that before. So you get your pole from Lowe's, that's about 35 bucks. The T-bones at Ace are about $2. A broomstick is going to be about $8, $10. Need 2 of those. If somebody's going to sew this for you, they'll probably charge you 30 bucks. Somewhere around there. And don't forget to grind that T-bone down or any sharp edges so it doesn't cut through your fabric. And if you have any other questions, just leave us an email at dreamteamforchristusa@gmail.com. That's dreamteamforchristusa@gmail.com. And if you got a question, hopefully we can get you an answer. Let's see, about all we can do now. We got the coronavirus going on, so now Jack and I are going out. We are tracking cars. We're going to parking lots. We're tracking houses. We're standing on street corners. All these signs and whatever you see, trying to pass out tracts to people who will take them. And we're stashing tracts wherever we can see a spot that the Lord shows us. So whenever this is all done, hopefully somebody will find that tract. So that's it for now. I hope that'll help y'all, give you some good ideas on how to work for Jesus and build you a reward in heaven. All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.